What is going on? And thank you for tuning into another episode of It's Nothing Personal, Just Buffalo. I am a host, JTM, Jeremy Turner Montgomery. I got my co-host in the building with me, former NFL running back, James Mallory. James, we got a lot to unpack tonight, man.
We do.
A lot of things happening right now. A lot of things went down in Bills Mafia, in the Buffalo Bills community in the last 24 hours. Another extremely ugly loss to the Denver Broncos. A loss that, once again, another one that should not have happened, in my opinion. We laid an egg on offense again, and unfortunately for this, Ken Dorsey, Bills offensive coordinator, they announced today that he has been relieved of his duties, aka fired.
Yes.
And we have to talk about that tonight. It's something that we could see coming. We talked about it on the last week. Just last week, we talked about it on this show with the possibility of it happening. I know neither one of us agree that he's the issue. But end of the day, listen, somebody got to take the blame for this mess.
Yeah.
And we're going to pack that tonight. We're going to talk about recap the game a little bit last night, what we saw, what we think. I know James really want to dig into this special teams unit that is absolutely atrocious and embarrassing.
Yes.
Absolutely atrocious.
I said it multiple times. Man. It's going to cost us a game.
Yeah.
We had to get right.
Yeah. What else are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about, obviously, Sean McDermott, Josh Allen, and I have to bring the question tonight. How much of the blame does Josh Allen have to shoulder for Ken Dorsey losing his job? We're going to talk about that. But, man, let's waste no time. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Remember, this is brought to you by Checkers. Let's hop right into this thing and get this thing rolling. All right? We got time to waste. We got a lot to talk about. So the Bills found their way to lose another game in epic fashion on primetime TV. Once again, sluggish performance from the offense, first half. Turnovers all over the board again. Defense holding it together. I believe that the Denver Broncos' average starting position was like the Bills' 40-yard line for the majority of the football game. Defense, once again, held it together. I think they gave up 6 points at one point to like 4 drives of the Broncos starting at their own 40-yard line or better. This is bad. This is really, really bad. James Cook fumbles first play of the game. Sean McDermott wants to take the kickoff, wants to get the offensive spark, going down the field and score. First play of the game, there's a fumble. He gets benched. There's a lot of questions about that. Should he have been benched or whatnot? We'll talk about that tonight too. Stephon Diggs, 3 catches, 34 yards yesterday. Our guy, Gabe Davis, the best number 2 receiver in NFL right now. Another great game with 2 catches and 54 yards. Gave us 2 this week. A couple weeks ago, he gave us 0. So I guess that's 2's better than none, right? Man, a lot to unpack. Just extremely ugly, man. Extremely ugly. We found something in the running game with James Cook and Latavius Murray. To me, that was probably the only bright spot yesterday. James Cook's running for 12 carries, 109 yards. Latavius Murray added another 9 carries for 68 yards and a TD. James, what went on, man? 12 men on the field, missed field goal. Then they give them the ball back. They kick it. They win the game. What's going on, man?
I don't know. Honestly, man, I think it's just mental. And anybody who has played knows that you got in the games before, and the offense may not click, defense may not click, whatever you play, special teams, and for whatever reason, it's just not clicking, right? And you like, yo, what? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck? Like, dude, I mean, what? It's just for whatever reason, it's just not clicking. So what we got to do is, with Josh Allen, it doesn't look like he's having a lot of fun right now. It looked like it's for Josh Allen there's a block. Like mentally, it seems like he has something going on. Like he has a mental hurdle he has to get over. That's a Josh Allen thing. He's going to have to get over whatever he's dealing with. He's going to have to. That's something he's going to have to fight through and work through himself. If it's confidence, if it's trusting teammates, whatever it may be. It may be in his personal life. Who knows? Because some people forget these people are human, right? So he needs to get over that. We didn't even deserve to be close in that game, right?
No.
To me, a bright spot in that game, if any team turns the ball over 4 times to our 1, we're probably going to blow them out. We had an opportunity to win that game at the end. That's the encouraging sign for me, right? And let's not forget, they acting like this is the 1-8 Carolina Panthers. These dudes just went and beat KC, who the Super Bowl champions. These dudes are playing really good football right now. They literally, once again, they just beat Kansas City. So a lot of Bills fans are talking about Denver like they chopped liver. They're not. Just because they started out slow don't mean they're a bad team. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Williams runs the ball extremely hard. Offensive line is solid, and Russell Wilson is nothing to sneeze at. They have a good damn football team, man. You can't get caught up in the record all the time. They got dudes over there that can play. So we just got to get right. And my main thing I wrote on my Facebook page that nobody wants to talk about. Everybody want to talk about the defense. Everybody want to talk about the offense. Special teams has been horrible, man. Special teams has been horrible. And our return game and the kick return, punt return, I love Hardy in the punt return game. I do. I really do. Our kick return game is not a non-factor. Like, dudes can literally sleepwalk down there, and Shakir is not a threat because Shakir is not a returner. They got him back there. He's doing the best he could, but he's not a returner. We need somebody that's a returner to return the ball. Hardy's not a kick returner. Let's be real here. Those 2 big returns on punt hurt us really, really bad. It did. Yeah. So we just didn't get it done for whatever reason. Me personally, I'm not panicking. Because I know what it's like when you get hot as a football team. If you get hot at the right time, I've been on teams where we got hot and I was like, yo, listen, ain't nobody gonna mess with us, and we get rolling. I'm really confident that this team is gonna get on the roll. I am. I'm very confident. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen now, and I've been tough on him. Gabe Davis is gonna get hot. I'm gonna tell you now, he is coming soon. He's gonna have one of those games. He's gonna have 100-something yards. It's gonna happen. And I think this offense is really gonna get hot. I think they're really, really, and people are gonna say, "Oh, it's because they fired Dorsey." It's not. It's just finding themselves, and I think they're gonna do that. I'm still confident. So, JT, what's your thoughts, man?
I tell you what, you got me beating the confidence. You got me beating the confidence game there with this team.
Word.
I don't really think they're gonna turn it around. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think they're gonna turn around. And I've been saying this same thing since about week 8 last year.
Mm-hmm.
There's something up with Josh in his mental part of the game. I've been saying it since last year, and it's still rearing his head. It was never the play calling. It's not the play calling. It's not the lack of a run game or the balance. It's simply 17. I've been saying it, and I'll continue to say it. I'm not going to get too much into it. I want to go into the game recap first. But overall, like I thought, on the offensive side of the ball, we found something with the running game. Unfortunately, we blew this game, and we didn't let our running game take us home, right? Obviously, I think the Broncos did a hell of a job of blanketing Stephon Diggs, which, like I said, once again, somebody else had to step up. Dalton Kincaid had another solid game, 5 yards, 51 yards, and a touchdown. I thought that the pass protection was pretty solid again last night. Guys did a pretty good job against us. A pretty decent Denver Bronco team on defense there. But overall, I thought that the defense came to play and the offense did. I thought that they put the defense in horrible positions. And at the end of the day, the defense stayed rock steady and kept this team in the game and gave them a chance to win at the end. I know a lot of people question, why don't we go up tempo on offense? Well, hell, we don't even know if we can't even go up tempo because we turn the damn ball over. We find ways to turn the ball over every week. If I see Josh Allen throw another interception against cover 2 defense, I'm literally going to smash my goddamn head against the wall.
Yeah.
You don't stop trying to make that throw over the corner between the safety. It's on.
What's happening is the corners are cheating on those cover 2. They dropping because they know he's not going to take the checkdowns, so they cheating.
Right.
That's what they're doing on the cover 2s now.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I said, we can blame this on McDermott. We can blame this on Bean. We can blame this on anybody at One Bills Drive. But overall, man, it boils down to 17. Either he's going to do it or he ain't. We go as far as he goes. Point blank and simple.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been, like I said, he hasn't been playing well. We cannot lose a game against a team that our running backs rush for a combined 21 yards and like $180. You cannot lose that football game. You're supposed to have, with those type of rushing yards, scoring drives, long drives, ball control. And when the defense plays well as they play, we should have blown them out. But here we go. We're turning the ball over again. And I've been saying it for multiple weeks.
3 was on Josh, right? The fumble and then the 2 picks.
Yeah, and I mean one of them was on Gabe, and then Kincaid. One of them was on Gabe.
That one was on Gabe. Bad.
Hit him right in the hands. So, like I said, I'll give you that one. I'll throw that one away. I won't even talk about that one. That's okay. That ball was thrown where it's supposed to be. As a number 2 receiver with a captaincy patch on his jersey, he's supposed to haul that one in easily. He didn't.
That's not even. Honestly, this shouldn't even have to be discussed. Like that right there, as a professional wide receiver.
They even tried to say on the broadcast that Josh have taken a little off of it. Stop it.
Man, listen, I was on the phone with my brother, who is a professional wide receiver. Hell no.
That's as easy as it gets. But overall, like I said, I want to get back to the game recap here. I thought we did a pretty good job of containing Russell Wilson. Obviously, Russell hurt us a little bit on some third downs, extending plays. A couple of times he got out of sacks, flipped the ball for it to running backs, got first downs. You're going to expect that stuff from Russell. If you really look at the game as a whole, outside of that magnificent throw he made to Courtland Sutton, I mean, that was a great play on his end and a great play on Courtland Sutton. And, the Broncos offense didn't really do much. And as far as the defense goes, it was all self-inflicted. The whole damn game was self-inflicted. And this is probably, I would say, the Jets game and this particular game guaranteed 2 losses through self-inflicted wounds. It's to the point where it's a joke. It's a joke. So, in the day, man, I don't know. We can go to the special team. I know you want to talk about that. I'm with you. I thought the special teams unit was atrocious. I thought the special team units has been atrocious this year. Sam Martin, absolutely terrible. Like I said, when we got him last season, he got us through last season, we should have said, okay, thank you. Drafted a rookie, brought some real competition in and said, all right, deuces. You got us.
Man, I think we need to bring back guy we drafted, man. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's been cleared of those charges.
Yeah, we can't go down that route.
I mean, at the end of the day, if he's been exonerated, I mean, yeah, you can't hold him hostage, or you can't, and when it came out, it was a blatant lie. From everything I've seen, that's somebody maybe we need to bring back in, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, at this point, dude, I think you're being Corey Bohorquez, like you said on the phone earlier, and it would be better. This dude is punting line dry.
But he already on, because he had been nice to bring back, but
I'm just saying anybody at this point in time. This dude is literally punting line drives.
That's line drives.
There's been 3 games in a row where every punt has been damn near a line drive. No hang time, no time for the coverage to get down there.
We gave him a decent contract, didn't we, to come back for a punter?
Yeah, I think it was like 1.6 million, something around there. I think it was like 1.6 million. I think we gave. We're not getting that money back. That money's stolen. That money gone. That money's stolen. It's out of there. We're gonna take an L on that one. Like you said, no kick return game. I thought when Cam Lewis got hurt last night, I thought it was Shakir because I'm watching the return. I'm like, yo, this dude's gonna get hurt back there. He's gonna get hurt. You're gonna get Shakir hurt on kick return because he's not natural, like you said, and he's stopping and he's pity patting. He's gonna get hurt at some point doing kick return. I don't know why we don't just put Ty Johnson back there. He's more of a natural kick returner than Khalil Shakir is.
Yeah.
Other than that, the kicking game has been spotty. We haven't put Tyler Bass in the field the last couple of weeks. I feel like we keep knocking ourselves out of field goal position or turning the damn ball over close to the red zone.
Yeah.
One or the other. Yep. So we don't even get to him. And obviously we missed Tywan Jones. On the other side of gunning with Sarandale. Maybe I took Taiwan for granted.
You won't understand how important that is until it's gone.
Yeah. So other than that, if anybody needs to be fired, if that special teams coordinator is terrible.
I thought he would be the one to go before Dorsey.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. On the 12 man on the field, I know McDermott's taking a lot of heat for that. Now I know today on his interview he said that it's inexcusable because the Bills practice that 3 or 4 times a week.
That's on the special teams coordinator. I know the question. You're gonna say who fault is it? That's on the special teams coordinator. So how that works is when all of that is going on, right? The responsibility flips from the defensive coordinator to the special teams coordinator. If it's 4th down, sudden change like that, special teams coordinator saying field goal block, field goal block, field goal block. That 3rd down. So usually 2nd down, the special teams coordinators are gathering his guys, making sure everybody's there. If there's anybody hurt, plugging in, boom, boom, boom. You know how many's supposed to come off when you sending your guys on that 3rd down. You already know that before the 3rd down play that happens, right? So when that 3rd down play happens in this 4th down, boom, now we changing. Special teams coordinator, you're in charge of, hey, these are my guys that's going on. If I got 4 going on, I need 4 coming off, right? Immediately, when he knew it was 3 coming off, he got to be alerted. And that's when the communication starts there. That's the special teams coach. That's on the special teams coordinator. That is on him. He dropped the ball there on that communication. Also, with it being rushed, technically the middle linebacker is he's in charge of the count. The guy is in the back. So I should have been Menard. He should have been in charge of the count. Once he's seen it was 12, he's supposed to be sending somebody off the field. So it's multiple different levels of communication where they drop the ball at. I know a lot of things are happening fast, but that's how it's supposed to work. Special teams coordinator knows 4 going on, 4 coming off, right? If that doesn't happen, if it's a lack of communication, the guy that's in the back, which is our linebacker in that play, I believe that was Terrell Bernard, that was there. He should have been counting his linemen. Once he counted 11 in front, obviously he would have made 12. He knows to send somebody off. So that's
now what happens when he gets to the point where they're lined up and he sees 12? What is he doing? Is he calling timeout or is he running off the field himself?
Yeah, you got to communicate that. So as they there, you count it off. You got to get somebody the hell off the field.
Okay, got it. It makes sense. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a tough way to lose, and when you start thinking about it, and I know it's cliche for this team and this franchise. Always has found ways to lose football games, especially at the end. And this just goes into the record books as well. I don't know, man. It's a lot to unpack. And I said last week that if the Bills were going to lose, if they lost this game this week, that I was hitting the panic button. Well, yep. I'm hitting that. Smash it. Panic button time.
I'm going to tell you why it's not panic button for me. Because it don't matter. I said this 2-3 weeks ago. To me, it didn't matter if we lost. I counted this game as a win, right? It's a bad loss. Don't get me wrong. But at some time, you got to go on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. When it is, it doesn't matter. Who it is, it doesn't matter. We need a 4 or 5 game streak. So if that 4 or 5 game streak is Jets, Eagles, Chiefs, then I believe we go Cowboys, right? whatever.
Yeah.
If that's the 4, that's the 4. Whatever it is, I guarantee you, we not having this conversation is not me, not you and I, but as a Bills Mafia, right? If at that point in time the Bills are 9-5, nobody's having this conversation. We not gonna make the playoffs, and I'm panicking. Nobody's having this conversation. And I said this 2 weeks ago. At some point in time, we got to have a 4-game winning streak. And if we don't have that, then that's just it's not gonna be good. We can't keep going 2 games, 2 games. That's not gonna work. We need to put a streak together of 4 games winning straight. Period. I would like 5, but 4 is more realistic. We need to hit a streak, and that's why I'm not panicking, because if we hit a 4-game streak at any point, just say if we win this week, lose next week, we're going to the bye 6-6. We come out the bye and win 4 straight. We at 10-6. Like that's how I'm looking at it.
All right. Listen, man, I would love, like, I brought up the 7-6 record when we lost to Tampa Bay a couple years ago, went on the run. And I would love to believe that could potentially happen. And honestly, I don't believe in it. I truly don't believe in it this time around.
Nobody really would. Because everybody counted the Bills out at that point. Nobody, usually you don't. If somebody's in that boat, most of the times you're going to be counted out.
And it's not necessarily because of, I feel like they're throwing in a towel. Once again, I'm going to say it again. I think there's a block right now with 17. There's something going on. He's not right. He's not right. This locker room's not right. And honestly, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. This locker room does not have a vocal leader. As much as we think Von's that vocal leader, Von's still an outsider. He ain't it. He's still rehabbing. No one's listening to that right now. Okay? Stephon Diggs, after the offseason he had with them, you're gonna take that with a grain of salt in that locker room. That's why I say, at the end of the day, what he was preaching may not have been wrong, but the way he did it was. The way he went about some of the stuff was. He's not the vocal leader. Honestly, there should be one unquestioned vocal leader in that locker room, and that's Josh Allen. And the biggest problem with this team, and the biggest problem that's going to continue to have with this team, is that he's not that guy. He's one of the guys, and we need him to be that voice. As much as his teammates love him, people can love you and take advantage of you at the same damn time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting in nobody's face. He's not pulling nobody's face mask saying, let's go. Every week that this thing's happened, I see him sitting on that sideline, that same dumbass look on his face. And excuse my language. That look that people say, oh, he has the look on his face. Yo, it's not right. It's not clicking. And like I said, I don't know if it's a Sean McDermott thing. I don't know what it is. But all I know is we go as 17 goals. And right now, and I've been saying it since last year, and people wanted to combat me on it. Be way before the Bengals game.
You did.
It's not there. That it's not there. He's not the vocal leader he needs to be. I watched the clip of Troy Aikman the other day, just laying into Dallas back in the day. You think about all the great quarterbacks, Brady, Roethlisberger, Manning, all these guys, Phillip Rivers. These guys were vocal leaders. They're going to chew your ass out if you're not doing your job. Have we ever seen Josh Allen chew anybody out? Anybody,
yes,
if anybody's in this chat watching right now, have we ever seen Josh Allen chew anybody out?
I can't say I have at all.
So, no, that's my thing. Like, man, he has to change. He has to change his personality. He has to change who he is. It can't be Stephon Diggs. It can't be Von Miller. It can no longer, Micah Hyde and Jordan Porter did their part. It has to be 17 at this point in time. It has to be. So, in my opinion, he's not changing right away right now. So, therefore, in my opinion, this season's done. I'm gonna start looking at draft. I'm doing my draft scouting now.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't. When you still got 7 games to play. You know what I'm saying? I personally I can't. I just as a player, I just know it. Like I have been on teams where you had how long it? I have. I've been on teams that started 1-4 and 1 out. Like been there, done that. And I know where, and I remember sitting in the locker room on that team and like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like you didn't have an answer. Like it's not like, oh, is this person fault? It just was like blah. You know what I mean? So, Sarah, what up? That's my homie right there, Sarah. So yeah. So anyway, you know, I've been on teams like that where it's just a situation where it's like you was looking for answers and you just didn't know, and then you just got to play your way out of it. And then once you get clicking, it's like aha, and then you rolling. That's why I'm looking at it from a player's perspective. It's way too much season left to even think that way for me.
I don't listen. Even if this team makes the playoffs, even if they can get back right, I just don't see it this year. And I hope I'm wrong. I don't see it. Something in that locker room was completely broken, and I don't know what it is. There's a disconnect. And now what used to be one big unison team, offense to connect the defense, that defense is starting to disconnect from that offense because they're tired and they're frustrated. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. This Bills offense, you can fire Ken Dorsey all you want, but 17 and a lot of the rest of the people in that offense, especially Gabe Davis, owe one hell of an apology to that defensive players, especially Jordan Poyer, especially Micah Hyde, especially Terrell Bernard. They owe them defensive players an apology for the way they've been playing because it's terrible, it's embarrassing, and it's disgusting. And the offense is completely healthy. 5 starting linemen all year. Same starting receivers healthy this year. Last year we heard Gabe Davis injured. He injured this year, right? First round pick spent on the tight end. Running backs healthy. I don't want to hear it, man. They owe that defense an apology. So, in my opinion, I honestly think that this season is done. And when I say done, yeah, they can make the playoffs, but the Bills are no longer about making the playoffs or AFC East championships. It's about Super Bowls. And if we're not winning the Super Bowl or getting the Super Bowl, the season's a complete failure.
But long as you in the dance, my thing is get to the dance. We figure everything out from there. Get to the dance. And then you figure everything out from there. To me, the home field don't matter. Because honestly, to me, home field, unless the weather is solid for January, it's really not home field advantage when you're playing in 15-degree weather sometimes with some of the players on the team. I would prefer them going to a better – Bills Mafia travel heavy anyway. It's always home field in those situations. So my thing is just get to the dance and we'll figure the shit out from there. That's how it is for me. Get to the dance, figure it out. We've been 13-3, made the playoffs and been rolled through the regular season. Shit ain't work. So it really doesn't. It's really no formula to how this team could get to a Super Bowl. We've been we was the number 2 seed that year, whatever it was. All that has been done. Get to the dance and figure it out. Figure out what this team has. Figure out. Obviously, we don't have an identity on offense right now. Figure that stuff out. By the time you get to the playoffs, do it really, really well, and roll with it. That's where I'm at with it. And you see what happens. I'm not saying we're gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm damn sure not saying we're not, because there's no other team in the NFL to me that's looking like they just runaway dudes that's just gonna win the Super Bowl. San Fran just came off a 3-game losing streak.
No, you're right.
Like,
you're right.
You know what I mean? That it's you know that's what it is. You know, they just came off a 3-game losing streak, and they were the favorite in the NFC, right? Baltimore, dude, the Browns just gave them work. You know, Kansas City just lost to the team that we just lost to, right? So it's like it's no team to me that's just running away. We're like, oh man, we can't touch them. What team in the NFL can't we get into the play? We get into the playoffs and we playing right. What team can we not beat? That's my thing. Right. That's where I'm at with this team. That's what I'm saying. Just get there. Everything else is is bubblegum to me. It's like get there. There's nobody in this league that's gonna kick our ass, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's the problem. There shouldn't have been a team that should have kicked our ass this year or last year. We continue to kick our own ass for everybody. That's the problem. That's the problem. We have 5 losses, and I can honestly say 3 of them were completely self-inflicted.
Absolutely,
Jets, Patriots, Denver.
I'm willing to say 4. I'm gonna get that Jacksonville one too.
Like I said, I had Jacksonville as an L, and I had the Bengals as an L on my predictions for the season anyway. So I had those as L's.
The Bengals that's a rough matchup, and I knew the Bengals. I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a 3-game losing streak. Remember, I said that because that game was so emotionally exhausting for them. You and I had a conversation on the phone, private convo on the phone about that. I was like, yo, that game, they had to win that game because everything that happened with Damar Hamlin and all, dude, you couldn't let the Bills come back and beat you on your home field after all that happened. You had to defend home turf. That game was so emotional, not only for the Bills, for them. And all the stuff they talked about, oh, they didn't want to play us again. But forget the playoff win. We talking about that we came right back in y'all yard with Damar Hamlin on the field. Well, not, he wasn't playing, but he was there, right? Come on, man. Like that game was emotionally draining. That's why they came back and got work that next week. You know what I'm saying? I just get to the dance and let's figure it out from there. That's my thing. Get to the dance.
So I'll put it this way, and I got a question. I know there's a question about the 0 blitz that we ran twice last night against Denver. Do you think that was the right call by Sean McDermott to run that back-to-back plays?
Yes. What Bills fans been wanting for years is they bitched and complained about Leslie Frazier not aggressive enough. Well, guess what? There you have it. You got the opposite of that. You got somebody that's gonna get after it. And that, you know what, in the locker room, as a player, you love that. Because that's saying my coach say, man, listen, my guys on side, I'm good with y'all. I trust y'all. We don't gotta have a safety over top. I trust y'all. Go get them. That's what to me, that meant a lot to me because that's like, yo, this is a coach who trusts his players in a situation like that. I'm cool with that. You know what? The tables turned on us a little bit because let's be real here. That the game that they didn't call on one of Teron Johnson, that was more of a pass interference than the one last night. So a little bit of karma on us on that situation. So because that was less than it was in
it was that. It was Darren Waller, Giants.
Yep. Yeah, that was more of a pass interference, that situation. So that's a little karma. But they're gonna call that most times in that situation. I love the call, me personally. I do.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I personally did not mind the calls myself either. I thought you got what you wanted. Obviously, Teron Johnson got beat off the line of scrimmage real bad. But other than that, it's a one-on-one matchup. It's not a high percentage throw. And that's what Sean McDermott was looking for. You're trying to keep them out of field goal range, so you can't just give up. You can't give up anything at this point in time. So I'm not against the calls. Like I said, I thought this defense is playing well. I know efficiency-wise, we're ranked 16 when last year we ranked 2, but I think that we can see the difference in the defense in general from last year to this year.
Stats can lie.
Especially with defense. Because it goes by yardage a lot of times and things of that such. So
stats can really lie. So yeah, you're right.
Let me ask you this question before we go into Ken Dorsey. How much belief do you still have in Sean McDermott? Because obviously we talked about it last week, and now the rumblings are even. It's trending on X and all type of social media. Fire Sean McDermott.
From 1 to 10, my confidence level.
1 to 10. 1 to 10. Yeah, 1 to 10.
9. Because this team don't never come into a game just unprepared. It's not on him. Receivers dropping passes. That's not on him. It's not on him. This Bills team, I can't tell you how many games I just felt we came into and we just were out coached. That don't happen. I love that our team has an identity. I can't tell you last time we had an identity. Like our team has an identity. We have a direction. We have vision, right? We know what we want to do. I have full confidence in him, and I have full confidence he'll bring multiple Super Bowls here to Buffalo. I'm fully confident in Sean McDermott.
So I'm comfortable in I'm confident in Sean. And I don't think he's ever going to lose the locker room, not this season. I don't think that's the issue. He's not going to lose the locker room. But only way I can see him getting fired is if they feel like that happens. Now we see this team throw in the towel and they finish these last 7 games back. That's a whole different conversation that we're having now.
Yeah,
it's a whole different conversation. I don't think that we're going to see that from this team. We've never seen that from one of his teams. These players are going to play for him. Now, when those guys are the Mike Hyde, the Jordan Poyers, the Jordan Phillips, the Shaq Lawsons, your tenured guys are out of that locker room, then at the end then we can have that conversation about, all right, can he lose his locker room? I still think he has the full respect of his players. I don't see any lack of effort. There's still a lot of guys that's not just, there's like guys on the team like AJ Epinesa. A guy like that's not going to throw in the towel because obviously that guy's playing for a contract, whether it's here or somewhere else next year.
He about to get paid too.
Right. He's going to get paid. So no one's throwing it in the towel, but at the same time, do not forget, if you want Sean McDermott gone, you probably want Brandon Beane gone as well.
Yeah, they together. The package deal.
They're a package deal. And Sean, and a lot of people, I saw some things on quotes on Facebook about Beane needs to just get rid of McDermott. Beane can't get rid of McDermott. McDermott hired him. He works for Sean.
And my thing, my thing is as JT. If you're going to fire a coach like Sean McDermott, it makes no sense to me. It's just stupid to me. It's very emotional, and it's just like you have an argument with your girlfriend and you just dump her, right? And then you sit there after you dump her, you lay there like, damn, I messed up. It's one of those situations. That's an emotional ass stupid decision to me.
Right. At this point,
yeah, absolutely. Even this year, at the end of this year, period. Like, you don't do things like that because people think it's not the video game where you fire somebody, put somebody in, and just play ball, and everybody play better. No, it's a you got to adapt to it. It's gonna be a lot of turnover if you can bring in a new coach. Those are McDermott guys. They play for McDermott. Then you bring in new guys, they may not mesh with them well. And then you got that element. Now you got talking about a year or two of cleaning out the McDermott guy. It's not a video game. These are real people with emotions. You just don't change the head coach and okay, everything's better. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. McDermott is a really, really good head coach in this league. And if he was to get fired or he wanted to leave, every team that had an opening would be offering him a head coaching job in a heartbeat. Like, in a heartbeat. So if you think that, you're just being foolish. That's not happening. He's a really, really good head coach.
No, he's not going to get fired this year. I'll be honest with you. I think there's zero chance that he gets fired this season. Personally, I think that he'll go, if they finish this season kind of weak and they keep trending this direction, he'll go into next season on the hot seat. 100%. And at that point in time, I think it's justified. I don't think it's justified right now because I think the Bills' season last year ended when DeMar Hamlin went down. That season was over. At that very moment, that season concluded. They had got games to play, but emotionally, it was done. You have to throw that one completely away. But other than that, now I don't think I know it's because we think he's lost the locker room. I think I just answered that. Now I don't think he's lost the locker room. I don't think he will either. There's too many veterans in that locker room that respects him.
And don't forget, those are his guys. Like, people keep it. Well, he brought all these dudes. These are his guys. Like, they're going to play for that. He picked these dudes. It's not like, for example, if you get a new coach that come in 2 years, right? You're going to have guys that are like, man, I ain't feeling this dude. Because that's not their guy. These are all McDermott guys, and these guys know it. McDermott picked you. We picked you. It's a totally different feel to that. They're not going to stop playing for that dude because they're his guys.
Right. And plus, like I said, the biggest thing is you don't have quitters in that Bills locker room.
No.
You don't have Bills.
You got Nick Morrison. Deion Dawkins. You got Spencer Brown up front. Them dudes not quit. That's foolish. Yeah, no.
Right. You don't have any quitters in that locker room. That's why they're not going to give up. These guys aren't. I don't care. I don't care if the Bills lose the next 3 games. They're not throwing in the towel.
And real quick, somebody said Bieniemy. Do they realize that players really dislike Bieniemy? So if you get Bieniemy, they don't like him. That's why he hasn't gotten a head coaching job. Players don't like him.
Now I was saying last week, and I was saying to you earlier today on the phone, if our OC at the end of the season, if the Commanders don't retain him, that you were like Ron Rivera ago, that is a guy that I would consider bringing in for the OC job. So I would say that. But
whoever is going to be a veteran. It's going to be whoever is going to be next is going to be a dude. They not bringing in no clown.
Joe Brady is getting his chance right now. He has like 7 games to get this right or figure it out.
I don't think, no matter how well he do, I don't think he's gonna be the OC next year, unless we win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, let's go on. Let's go on to the next topic, man. Bills fired Ken Dorsey today. We got to ask the question: is it fair or is it foul? A lot of people saying, "Hey, he was issued for Josh's struggles." A lot of other people are saying he's the scapegoat. Very similar to Leslie Frazier. I didn't like the mid-season OC change. Willie wasn't a fan of it. But today, this is what happened today. James, is it fair or is it foul?
To me, it's I know the business in the NFL, so I'm going to say it is what it is. It's fair on that note because that's the business of it. Somebody has to answer. And you're responsible for the offense, so you got to answer for that. So I'm going to say it's fair in that note, but it's foul on the end that I don't think he was totally wrong. And I actually like Dorsey. I think Dorsey's going to be actually a head coach in the NFL fairly soon. Now that's actually been delayed because if he's fired, nobody's going to hire him to be the head coach. Right. But, I'm in between. I'm in between on that. I'm fair on one end, foul on that.
Okay. I'm going to say this. We don't have too much information on when Bill's driving. I'm sure we won't get too much information. If this firing was over the command of the offensive unit, being the voice, or if he felt like things were just completely off the player. And to me, it seems like Stephon wasn't happy with Dorsey. I know Stephon was not happy with Dorsey going the last offseason. Know that for a fact. One of the reasons that things happened, he felt like he wasn't scheming to the game plans. It seemed last week Josh made a comment that I just run the plays that's being called. Didn't like that Josh said that because no one tells your ass to throw the ball over into cover 2, 3, and 4 times a game and throw interceptions. And last night you just simply dropped the ball on a handoff. None of that's on Ken Dorsey. Not one bit.
No.
Nope. But besides that, if it's about the overall command of the unit and that he just wasn't connecting with Josh and Diggs and those guys, okay, fine. If that's what you feel that you have to do that. But this is the 3rd offensive coordinator that you've had run-ins with as Sean McDermott. Rick Dennison, agree with it. He was terrible. He was past his time. He would never be able to coach a quarterback like Josh Allen in this day and age of football. Okay. Brian Daboll did not leave on the best note. Okay. We saw a little beef with them in the media before he left about running the ball, passing the ball, the balance on offense. We know Sean McDermott wants to run the football more. Okay. Fine. Ken Dorsey ran the football more than Brian Daboll ran the football here. Say what you want against Josh Allen wishes, but he ran the football more. I'm saying he's the scapegoat. I'm saying it's 100% foul. I don't like it. Something stinks and it's rotten. This is not a good look. It's Leslie Frazier in the offseason, and there's a mysterious cloud around it. Ken Dorsey midseason, there's a mysterious cloud around it. Do you know that the Bills rank top 10 in almost every offensive metric within the league? But you know where we rank at the bottom? turnovers. You know who has the most turnovers in the NFL since 2018? Josh Allen. Do you know who leads the NFL interceptions right now? Josh Allen. You know who was leading the league mostly in interceptions last year, most of the year? Josh Allen. And you know who's been leading the league in fumbles the last couple of years? Oh, yeah, guess what? Josh Allen. That ain't Ken Dorsey. That's not Sean McDermott. That's Josh Allen. This is foul. It's rotten and it's terrible.
I'll say this one thing. And I'm hoping this is true on this note. Whenever Sean McDermott has made a decision like that and moved on, it's worked. When he moved on from Dennison, Dable came in. It worked. When he moved away from Dable, well, Dable got a job, so I won't even say he moved away from him. So we ain't even gonna go there.
Well, yeah, he won't come back anyway. He won't come back.
Yeah, but we knew he wasn't. But at the same time, he got the head coaching job, so we can't have that conversation on hypotheticals. We knew it, but it is still up in the air, right? But then now when you go Leslie Frazier, you got rid of him. That defense is balling, man. They look good. So let's hope this is follow this trend that we trust in his decision on this. Like I said, I don't agree with it. I wouldn't have done it, but I'm gonna see how this turn out. I'm gonna see how it turn out.
As I said before, if this doesn't seem like an X's and O's firing. It doesn't seem like it's a move to say, I don't like what you're calling. I don't like. This seems like, and I pray that this is the reason that there's a disconnect between Dorsey and the players. Because, like I said, if it's X's and O's, then I don't know what game he's looking at. Because I told you,
if I'm a betting man, it was an emotional loss. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to bet McDermott talked to Stephon Diggs. I'm willing to bet he talked to our center Mitch Morris, and I'm willing to bet he talked to Josh Allen. It's not to say, oh, should we keep him? To get their opinion, get their feedback, get their feel. And once he got that, that's when he was like, you know what, making a decision to move on. Dorsey probably got fired last night. He probably didn't get fired this morning. It probably happened last night.
How's that go? I mean, just explain how that kind of happens. I know a lot of people probably want to know the process of that a little bit.
Well, a lot of coaches don't go home after the game. They'll watch film. They'll stay there. They'll sleep on the couch. They'll watch film like, yo, what the hell? Where the hell did we go wrong? They'll sleep on the couch. Man, listen, especially as a player, hey, man, you talk a little bit. All right, coach, man, listen, man, then this isn't something that just happened just yesterday. This has been a buildup over the last few weeks, I'm probably assuming, right? And you gotten feedback from players. Hey, how you feeling in the office? What's going on over there? What you think? Blah, 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 blah. And then that's when, you know what? We couldn't get nothing going. The defense held them the most of the game, 15 freaking points after all these turnovers, and our backs was against the wall, and we couldn't muster it up. No. That's what it was. If I'm a betting man, he probably is let go, released early in the morning, like early in the morning.
So let's just say they made this move now, and the offensive woes continue. Same old turnovers, same old things been going on. By the way, to let you know about balance, the Bills actually passed the run ratio last night, 50-50. 50-50 last night. I don't know when the last time we had a 50-50 balance, but I can tell you this thing, okay, about Ken Dorsey. He more pre-snaps motions than Brian Dable. Found a way to get more players involved than Brian Dable. Took Josh Allen out of the running game to take less hits per management. Also found the way to get the running backs involved. More than Brian Dable did. And while Brian Dable was here, everybody said that it was the running backs. It was Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. Well, Zach Moss is still third. I mean, he's probably third or second in the league in rushing right now. He's not his playing time is going to start decreasing. Jonathan Taylor's back, but we saw that he could play football. Okay, Devin Singletary just ran for 150 yards.
Yeah,
on Sunday in the win against the Bengals. So we know that it was never the running backs.
Wait, the Texans beat who?
The Bengals.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia. Calm the heck down. Right. Calm down. We'll be all right.
So that's my thing. Okay. So we have to ask the question, and I'm going to dare to ask it because no one wants to ask it. No one wants to talk about 17 and what he should shoulder. I've read so many posts and tweets saying that the Bills is wasting Josh Allen's prime. No. If anybody's wasting Josh Allen's prime, it's Josh Allen. Hey, it's not. Listen, said it last week, and I'll say it again. Franchise quarterbacks make head coaches. Example, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. Franchise quarterbacks make OCs. Franchise quarterbacks are their long-term quarterbacks usually get at least 2 to 3 OC head coaching jobs. Josh Allen has one down. We thought Ken Dorsey would be next. Well, no, he got Ken Dorsey fired by his play. Say what you want to say. So I asked the question, how much is he shoulder the blame for Dorsey's firing? Well, let's just go over some of the numbers here. All right.
Yeah.
Over. Oh. I got something going on my ear. So Josh Allen has, what is it? He had 13 fumbles last season. 13 fumbles last season. He has another 4 this year. Leads the league in interceptions. Go over all those stats I just went over earlier. But how much does he shoulder the blame? Let's see. Dorsey gives him a RPO. A lot of RPO calls, right? Run pass options. What's the percentage that he passes the ball or keeps himself? Probably about 95%. They made a joke of it last week in Monday Night Game versus the Bengals. It was a joke on Sunday Night Football. They know he's not running the ball. But this is on Ken Dorsey. So if you want to ask me how much he shoulders blame, he shoulders at least 70% of his blame. At least 70%. And I can go even higher.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, and mark me down for saying this. I don't care. Fine. Be upset if you want to. Clip it if you want to. Josh Allen, his performance over the last 2 seasons, lost Ken Dorsey his job.
That's
plain and simple.
That's just real. I mean, that's just what it is. That's real. Misunderstood, don't need to be explained. I really don't have much to add to that. Josh Allen, his performance, yeah, period.
And I'm sorry, Josh Allen and Gabe Davis cost Ken Dorsey his job. Let me throw Gabe's name in there. Josh Allen and Gabe Davis cost Ken Dorsey his job. Why you say Gabe Davis? Because Gabe Davis can't beat a one-on-one coverage to save his life right now, and he takes no pressure off Stephon Diggs or Josh. And he's the biggest problem and the biggest issue within this entire Bills offense. And I know a lot of people are saying that, why did the Bills bench James Cook last night after the fumble? It's something that Sean McDermott has done since he got to Buffalo. He did it with Zach Moss. He did it with Devin Singletary. He bench you for like a quarter or a half a quarter, and he puts you back in, gives you a tap on the helmet and say, go get him. He did the same thing with Cook last night. That has been consistently done since Sean McDermott got here. But why didn't he bench Gabe Davis? Well, I told you last week. He can't. He put the C on his chest. Yep. You put the C on his chest. So now that you put that C on his chest, you can't take him out the lineup. Oh, why don't you take him out the lineup? Because Josh is comfortable with Gabe Davis. The same reason you paid Dawson Knox $40 million. Because of Josh. And I think that, did he ask Josh, would he want to fire Ken Dorsey? Or would he mind? He probably asked him, right, James? You agree he probably ran that by him?
That he's firing him? I don't think he did. I think he made that decision after gathering it, talked to them about how they feel in regards to how the offense is going. And he made that decision. I doubt he got input from him. He like, yo, I'm making this decision.
He said today that it was his decision alone.
But I didn't know that. I when I'm thinking as he gathered information of how they were always feeling, you know how your players feel. And he made that decision. That was a McDermott decision. I highly doubt the way Josh playing, he wouldn't have got input from him. Highly doubt it. Even though he's a leader of that team, he made that decision like, listen, I'm making this decision.
Now I got a stat for you that I want to give you, and I this is something that I want to talk about or show or highlight something for you. So last season, Josh Allen threw for. Let me just make sure I got this right. I want to make sure I give the right information. I don't want to mess this up. All right, Josh Allen threw for 14 interceptions last season. 6 of those interceptions out of 14 were balls thrown to Gabe Davis. I'm going to repeat that in case you didn't catch that. Josh Allen threw 14 interceptions in 2022. 6 of those interceptions were balls to Gabe Davis. Josh Allen has 11 interceptions in 2023. 4 of those balls are to Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is just as much responsible for Ken Dorsey losing his job as Josh Allen. As Josh Allen is. Because we don't have another guy on that offense outside of Kincaid in the passing game that we could depend on. So
once again, it's so big. Why I thought we should have been aggressive with D-Hop.
Yeah. Yes. I know people asking if Floyd was the 12th man. And start getting your questions ready if you got questions. We're gonna start taking them pretty soon here about 5 minutes.
It's hard to say who actually the 12th man was.
They said it was Floyd.
It was?
Yeah, they said it was Floyd. Which would make sense. It is what it is, man. Like I said, it is what it is. But yeah, I did read today that it was Floyd. So maybe, like you said, there's a miscommunication there or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I think that this one, Josh gonna have to sleep on this one, man, because Josh is the same person that campaigned for Ken Dorsey to get this job. He's the same guy that campaigned for the Bills to overpay for Ken Dorsey to get this job. Ken Dorsey could have went to the Giants. And quite honestly, if he went there, the Giants office probably would look a lot better than it looks with Mike Kafka and Brian Dable, because it looks like pure ass. But people want Brian Dable back. But people want Brian Dable back here in Buffalo. See, this right here is the problem. The problem is we continue to try to make our franchise quarterback comfortable. You know what they say about being comfortable in life? It's better to be it's better to be in uncomfortable situations. At this point in time, guess what? I said it last week. What did I say on this show last week, James? If the Bills lose this game to the Broncos, it's going to get real uncomfortable around here.
Absolutely.
Well, guess what? It ain't comfortable no more, is it? It ain't no smile, ain't no hey, ain't nobody chanting nothing right now. People want heads. Pitchforks are out. Want everybody fired. When people cut, people traded. Don't nobody want to get no contract extensions. It's ugly right now. It's real uncomfortable in Buffalo. And we're going to see who Josh Allen is. Because I said last week when he made that comment about Ken Dorsey, or not about Ken Dorsey, but he just execute the plays that are called, or tries to the best. I thought that was a bullshit comment. Excuse my language. I thought it was a bullshit comment, and I thought it was a scapegoat comment.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I said, uh-oh, something gonna shake. Something may happen. Yeah. That's the first time I can honestly say that I didn't hear Josh give the generic answer. We just got to be better. We got to do better. The whole point is right now, you don't know what to do to be better. You're not having fun. You're not enjoying the game of football, and it shows. Welcome to the real NFL. This is the NFL now where you're a Super Bowl contender and every game is pressure. You're a Super Bowl contender where every team is coming to play you and they trying to bring their A game. Now you're on the Madden cover, you're on these Gillette commercials, you're on all these things. You got a target on your back every game. So as many times as you stiff arm people and you hurdle people and you point at people running into the end zone, oh yeah, it's real uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
And it's on your shoulders because guess what? Ken Dorsey ain't there to be the scapegoat. So what we going to do? We going to use Joe Brady for the scapegoat for the next 7 weeks or 8 weeks? Nah, bruh. You got to figure this out. And if you don't, we need to start looking at you. And I've been saying it. I've been saying. So I've been looking since last year. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. If this continues, Josh Allen has lost Ken Dorsey his job. And if this continues into next year, he's going to lose Sean McDermott his. Point blank, period. And as Bills fans, we will find ways to continue to not blame Josh Allen for this. Can't lead the league in turnovers. You got to protect the football.
Yeah, you got to. Can't win. We can't win turning the ball over. Period.
Charlie Francos makes a good comment. There's absolutely no sense of urgency until the last 4 minutes of the second half. They're used to coming back, and now it's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
He also, so I'm going to go back and start answering some of these questions, guys. So go ahead and start answering. Charlie also asked a good question. Do you think Mabine is out after this year if we miss the playoffs? I would say no. I would say they would go into next year on a very short leash. But
look at how the Pagulas do business too. They don't do business that way.
That's not how they do it. No.
They're loyal. They know what McDermott has done for the franchise. They're loyal. They'll give him every opportunity to get it right.
Yeah. Let's see. Jarrell Williams says, I've been blaming Josh for 2 years. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm gonna go back up to some of the comment questions here. I know I put a lot of comments on the screen. A lot of engagement tonight. I know a lot of people are just as pissed off as we are. So
oh yeah.
Benjamin Saba says, do you think they go all in on cornerbacks next year? I don't think so. I think you got something to bend for.
You got no cornerback room.
Yeah.
Douglas played, man.
Right. Douglas stepped in well. And he has a $9 million player option. Team option, I think, next year. So I think that would be something the Bills be picking up. Now they may go all in on safeties. I don't know what that safety room is going to look like. But I think the cornerbacks, specifically that position, we're fine. I know Josh Young said he'd love to have Bieniemy as a head coach earlier. I don't agree with the head coach part, but offensive coordinator, absolutely. Why you say there's offensive coordinator, people ask? Because he has experience with working with tight ends and Travis Kelce. And we got a stud in Kincaid. So you're taking a coordinator who's used to working with a similar personnel. Tyreek Hill, Kelce, Diggs, Kincaid. I don't think Diggs is going anywhere, people. I know that's going to be a hot topic.
That's not even a discussion to me. Financially, and then you just don't – no.
And mark my words, if Diggs ever got traded from Buffalo, if there was any possibility he got traded from Buffalo, it would not be to Dallas. I repeat, it would not be to Dallas. The most likely team would be the New York Giants. Just telling you. Don't ask me why. I'm just telling you that'd be the most likely team would be the New York Giants.
And the thing is, his brother will get traded before Stephon would.
Yeah, Stephon.
To be honest, his brother would be traded before Stephon would. Stephon didn't get traded.
Yeah. All right. Rob says, where is Bean in all of this? He's making the contracts. And that's a very good question because, and a very good comment as well, because we were talking about this earlier. We're stuck in a weird position cap-wise. Like, this team was probably supposed to win the Super Bowl last year, and this year you kind of take that step back to get the financials right. Actually, I was going to ask you this on air, and I asked you earlier. I'm going to ask you on air. If you can give me 3 players on this roster right now, it could be an offense or defense, 3 starters specifically that won't be back next year, who would you pick? That's not saying you want them gone. It's just saying that you just don't think they'll be back. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Mitch Morse.
I agree with that. That's one of mine. Yep.
Bates to be a starting center next year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up in the air. Well, one of the safeties will be gone. I'm thinking it's going to be Hyde. I think both of them are going to be gone. Hyde and Boyer. But depending on the cap situation, you might be stuck with bringing one of them back. And I'm up in the air with Gabe Davis because I think his contract gonna come so cheap that he's probably gonna take a 2-year cheap deal here. I think he might be back, and I hope not. I think it's time to move on and just go draft a first round receiver and then sign somebody. I think he might be back, but I'm gonna say Gabe Davis is at third right now.
All right, yeah. So I had Mitch Morse. I had Gabe Davis, and my third starter. Yeah, man, my third starter is probably gonna be. I think it's gonna be Micah Hyde. I think Micah Hyde may retire. You know, you have a serious neck injury like he had, and then you even if he nicked it a little bit and he's out for a week, that's still scary. You know, Micah has a young kid, a young child, another one on the way, and it's just that's just scary. So I think that my three would be Mitch Morse, cap casualty, Gabe Davis because it's just necessary at this point to move on, and Micah Hyde, who I think may hang it up after this year. So those would be my three. Let's see. Let me see if there's any more questions that I missed here. Let's see here. Bob Minkwitz. Well, Minky says Knox traded. You know what? It is a post June 1st next year. I think it's a possibility, but I think not this offseason, next year.
Next year, that's what I'm thinking. I think he'll be here 2024 100%. Then that next year is when he's gonna be gone.
Right. So let's see. Charlie says, I bet Ray Cruz, excellent. Ray Cruz first. Ray Cruz says Morris, Hyde, and Davis. So he's on board with most of us with that. Charlie Franco says, I bet Poyer leaves before Hyde. That's possible. I mean, he has no guaranteed money left in the deal. So if Hyde wants to come back, I mean, I think that they would choose Hyde because he's more of the leader of the defense, especially that back end, than Poyer is at this point in time. Mike Lackey says interceptions are off the hands of receivers. So exactly how much you're trying to blame for the defense and poor play calling. Like I said, I don't think the play calling was the problem. I think when the receivers are dropping balls, that normally mean that it's open. So it was probably a solid play call. So I don't think it was the play calling at all. I think that a lot of it was the turnovers and the quarterback play. I mean, D. Dot says J. Poe would be under contract to 2024, which he is. Like I said, I think all the guaranteed money is out after the season.
Yeah, so they can cut him and save what, $7-8 million?
Probably $6 million. Ray Cruz says Murray or Fournette returning next year. When is Fournette seeing the field? So I don't think Latavius Murray will be back next year. I think this actually maybe Latavius Murray possibly last ride of it. I mean, to be 33 in the NFL as a running back is just crazy as it is. I mean, kudos to that guy, man. And then to run for 68 yards. Boy, Fournette, I don't know. I think we'll see Fournette this next game.
I told you how I feel was going to have to be the backfield next year.
Do you think he want Derrick Henry?
No, I think it's going to be James Cook and Derrick Henry in the backfield next year.
Yeah,
2020.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Let me see if I missed some more comments here. Let me see. I want to see if I got some. Okay, so Guy Paul says, all being said, how long did it take Elway and Young to win Super Bowls? These boys are still growing and learning the game. And you know, to a point, that's correct. But I said last week that Josh Allen reminds me a lot of John Elway. And John Elway himself didn't, until he trusted his run game and played boring football at the very tail end of his career, did not get a hump. Now, mind you, he went to multiple Super Bowls earlier. Josh ain't even got to that point yet. And that's the worrisome part, right? Elway went to Super Bowls early. He got blown out because at that point in time, we already know our Buffalo Bills lost 4 of those Super Bowls with the AFC. But Elway was going to Super Bowls before Kelly was. And the thing about that is the NFC was so much better than the AFC at that point in time. It wasn't really close. Your top 3 NFC teams are better than the AFC. So, but it took him a long time to get back. And I don't want to see Josh get to that point. But when you start looking at the cap and the ages of Poyer and Hyde and Shaq Lawsons and Phillips and a lot of these guys on this roster, the Von Millers, this team is going to be headed to retooling, to a possible mini rebuild too. There's no guarantee that there's going to be able to retool all this at once and fix it. Now, Bean has done a masterful job, but there's no guarantee to it. So, James, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, he has a really good point. In the NFL now, it's up for grabs, so you never know when this time is going to be. Like, it's going to look like it's going to be a down year. Like, who would have thought the Bengals that year was going to go to the Super Bowl? Nobody could sit here and tell me they thought the Bengals were going to go to the Super Bowl. Nobody. When the Titans, we mentioned earlier, Titans went to an AFC Championship game that year. Nobody projected. They was like, they better be happy to be in the playoffs. They made a run. So, I do agree with that. I do hear you on that. It took them a while. They are growing and learning. But yeah, Josh, he does have some time, if you want to say it like that. And then there's gonna be a jump in the cap soon coming too. So that should help.
Yeah, TV money help lessen the blow a little bit. That'd be around the time of Rousseau coming up and things like that. So, D Dot says, man, do you think Bieniemy makes a lateral move though, especially with a guy established a head coach? Absolutely. Like I said, if things don't go right with the Commanders, obviously they have a new ownership group in Josh Harris and Magic Johnson. If they want to bring in their own coaching staff and Bieniemy is not a part of that, then I think as the Buffalo Bills, you would be idiots not to look into Bieniemy. Because he's coached, his office is coaching against all the defenses you're going against in AFC. I think that you'd be idiots. And he's coached a player that has a lot of similarities, especially with arm talent, with Patrick Mahomes. So like I said, and I already brought the Kincaid and Kelsey thing. You'd be idiots not to look into that. And if you could get him, get him. And I think Bieniemy, you'd be idiot not to take this job, because if this team falls short again, this may be your team. Squires of the cap, this could be your team. You could be taking over Sean McDermott if he's relieved of his duties at some point in that next year. So either way, man, I just think that this team is going to go as far as Josh takes them. That's just the bottom line. I know a lot of people are saying now about bringing back Brian Dable. Listen, man, Brian Dable was not even a better play caller than Ken Dorsey. He just relied on Josh Allen making plays. Like, I know people are saying that Ken Dorsey's play calls are very predictable, vanilla. Well, what the hell was Brian Dable's then?
People act like they wasn't trying to run Dable out of the building. Like,
yeah. So, like I said, end of the day, man, Brian Dable's offense was terrible. And I think you're seeing it in the effect of New York. They made the playoffs last year the same way that the Buffalo Bills won games made the playoffs, off the quarterback's legs. He hasn't drawn up anything new yet. No pre-snap motions, no balance. The only thing I would say that Brian Dable probably had over Ken Dorsey, seeing the situation, how it unfolded, is Brian Dable probably had more command in those rooms with the offensive units than Ken Dorsey has. And like I said, we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll hear it. But I guarantee you that's probably the main thing that he had over Ken Dorsey was just the command.
Yep.
Or he just got along with the players. He just meshed with Diggs and meshed with Allen well enough that they didn't create chaos and problems for him. Now, if that's the case, and that's what happened, then we need to start talking about, listen, who's the divas in this room? Do we have people who are creating issues in this room? Is Josh Allen creating an issue in this room? And I've said before, Josh Allen doesn't have a leg to stand on when it talks about making his calls, making decisions, running things through him. I said it last year. It's too much going through 17 for him not to have no rings. Too many decisions. I said, like as you said earlier, listen to the fans that get you fired. Well, hell, listen to Josh may get your ass fired too right now.
Yeah, they told us that when I first got there. Said, hey, Pay attention, do your job. Don't focus on the media and what people got to say on social media. Because if you listen to the fans and what you should do, you will get fired.
Yeah. I get your point, Tim. Tim Lewis says that being drafted one offensive player, first round is being here, but that's because Josh told them he was comfortable with everybody he had.
But people got to get into this. This is where people mess up. You can't think about it that way. You're supposed to draft not to miss. I don't give a damn what position you draft. Just don't miss.
Right.
The hell with we drafted 2 offensive players the last 2 years, first round. Okay, now we got to go defense. Just don't miss. I don't give a damn what positions you draft. Don't miss. That's it. Especially first round picks. Don't miss, because 58% of first round picks are bust anyway. So make sure you on the positive side.
And the big thing is too, when we talk about this Bills offense, we've always, especially the receiving core, we've always brought Josh proven players. Beasley was ready to go. John Brown's a veteran.
Yep.
Ready to go. Stephon Diggs traded a first round pick for. So we've always brought him pretty much proven players on offense. So in the day, man, like I said, I'm not going to get too much into the draft record because I would say this. I think Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have done a pretty solid job at drafting. I think that we question some of the scheme fits for some of the players they drafted here, but I think some players too, when they got outside of Buffalo, still showed that, hey, they were talented and good players and good draft picks. They may have just not fit here at the time. So I think even James Cook was, like I said, as Charlie Fresco brings it up, James Cook was a different type of pick. So I'd even say this. We've seen that they've tried to evolve this offense. The pick of James Cook, the pick of Dalton Kincaid, the pick of Osiris Torrance, it showed how they're trying to evolve this offense and actually looking and saying, hey, these are the things that we're missing on this offensive side of the ball. We need to fix this. Now, we're seeing Sean McDermott run this defensive unit with duct tape and glue, holding it together. Every other possession, you see somebody go down. And guess what? They're still not missing a beat. The offense has to get it together. So if they're going to make that run, like you say, James, that four game win streak, it's going to be on the offense. Like I said, we're not going to stop every offense every game. We're not going to.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that the reason why I'm so confident that it can happen, we got the dudes to do it, and they've proven they can do it. It'd be different if it was like we got people that we was hoping could do it. All these dudes have proven they can do it. That's why I'm so confident they can do it.
Right. But and my man Jeff says Buffalo needs a run game to help Allen out. But last night we had a run game.
The running game hasn't been a problem. They've been producing. James Cook is like 5th in the league in rushing.
Yeah. The problem the last 3 years with the run game has been that Josh, Stephon Diggs, and even Gabe Davis did not want to run the football. And they let them dictate the offense. That has been the problem. So if you heard it here first, if you want to know what the real issue is with the Bills running game, it's because they did not want to run the ball. Plain and simple. But plain and simple. It is what it is. And now it's the turnovers. The turnovers are the issue. So we're going to see what happens. Like I said, you got a 3-headed monster back there. If Leonard Fournette is the Leonard Fournette that we know, then we should have no reason not to run the ball, right? When we get Dawson Knox back, guess what? We're right where we need to be. But either way, man, this offense was tailor-made for Josh Allen, and he needs to they need to do better.
Yep.
Plain and simple. So on that, I think we saw what James Cook could do last night. I thought we saw what Latavius Murray can do. We add Leonard Fournette in there, and I think we just need to change offense identity. If Joe Brady's smart, start pounding this football and go back to pound the football and go to a play action scheme to slow down those pass rushes. That's what I do. James, you got anything else to add, man, before we
Nope. Don't lose faith, y'all. I understand it's hard right now, but we got dudes. I'm confident we got dudes have proven they can do it. Not dudes that we hope can do it. These dudes have proven they can do it. All they got to do is go get it back together. That's it. They'll be all right.
Listen, we paying somebody $258 million. Okay. I'm not hearing nothing about nothing. Go out there and find a way to get it done. And guess what? Because we lost those games to the Jets, the Patriots, and now the Broncos, those specifically, those three. Now you have to go in there. You got to beat Dallas, Philly, the Chargers, Miami away game. You got New England coming. So at the end of the day, your road just got a whole lot tougher because you blew some games that you shouldn't have blown. And you blew those games completely in the offense. All three of them. So, end of the day, it is what it is, man. The road going to get tough. And welcome to being uncomfortable, Bills Mafia. This is what it feels like right now. And I will say this, okay? And I want to say this before I sign off. Let's just don't forget to enjoy this ride with this team. The fact that we're even pissed off that the Bills are 5-5, we're still a lot further than we were than 7 years ago. And I know it's a what have you done for me lately business, but it could be worse. It could be a whole lot worse. Okay? It could be Dick Duran or Chan Gailey worse. We're not that bad. I'm just saying it could be bad. So don't get spoiled to the fact that you still can't enjoy what we do have on this roster, which is a pretty damn good roster and a good team. Are they playing well? Are they playing up to their standards or what they should be doing? Absolutely not. I'll be the first to tell you that.
But it's no week we go into a game and we say, oh, we can't win. I remember being a Bills fan. I knew we weren't going to win. Knew it. We didn't have a chance and we just couldn't match up. There's no game we're going to go into the rest of the season. They're like, oh, we don't have no chance to win. There isn't one.
Right. So, like I said, and still enjoy the ride. I would tell you, don't let the Bills consume your life or make or break your day. Give yourself 24 hours after the loss, just decompress and go on. But it's tough. I get it. Buffalo lives and breathes Buffalo Bills football. They always have and they always will. But end of the day, like I said, somewhere down the line, they will figure this out. And honestly, the hard pill to swallow is it may not be this season. It may not be figured out till next season. That's the reality.
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm with James. I try not to lose the faith. I ain't that confident as him. My man right there, he knows more than me about the NFL locker room. He knows more than most of us about the NFL locker room.
You gotta stay calm, man. Just figures the panicking. Oh, we need to do this now. Dude, you only can take it one game at a time. That's all. Man, you can't trip. You trip, that's when shit get bad.
and we've been winning a lot of football games in 4 years.
Yep.
so it's bound to happen. But yeah, other than that, man, next week we got the Jets this week.
Jets.
We got the Jets this week. So that's a game a must win. I think the rest of these games are damn near must wins. We probably can only afford one more loss, maybe two more losses this season. No, actually it's 5 losses. Yeah, we probably can only afford 2 more losses this season. And then that's going to be game over.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, the AFC is jumbled up. The AFC North is going to start beating up on each other. There's going to be some teams.
That's when you look at the grand scheme of things, JT, that's what's encouraging. All these teams will start. The Texans are going to come down to earth.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, we will or we won't. Either way, we'll still be here next year. So, other than that, I'm signing off. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, this is nothing personal, just Buffalo. Glad we got that off our chest now. Now we'll see what happens, man. Ken Dorsey, fire. Joe Brady, your turn, bud. Your turn, brother. So, James, as always, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch y'all later.